Okay, go. Hello, folks, and welcome to tonight's SMEHarbinger.net live broadcast. Our first of the second semester. I am Michael Kraske, joined by Ellis Nepstead. Folks, we got a great game for you tonight. The Lancers are here playing Lawrence Free State, and in the girls' game earlier, the girls unfortunately suffered a tough defeat. But we're gonna see if the boys can get back on track. Ellis, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well, Michael. Yeah, and like you said earlier, the Lady Firebirds of Lawrence got off to an early start, and they really just kept the lead from there. And then the Lady Lancers made a little bit of a run in the fourth quarter, but it was kind of too late for them to come back. And there's Free State making 2 free throws.
I believe I don't know if that second one counted.
Just one. I guess it was a lane violation of sorts.
So now we're going to see senior Alex Glazer take the ball up, who swings it around. It's Guastello with it now. Around to Dornbush. Inside, and the pass is cut off.
Number 30,
Ooh.
Hunter Good. Does not shoot.
What's your story? I can hardly.
Number 0, Christian Rawls passes the ball.
And the call's going to go in the way of the Lancers.
Hey, yeah, we're going to try to move this up.
Careful. Just a little bit.
And welcome back.
Sorry about that, folks. Some quick technical difficulties, but we are live. About 6:30 left to go, and Glazer inbounds the ball to Morrison.
Down low to Mark Ward.
Nice pass, and a great delivery by Mark Ward. That's going to make it 2-1 Lancers.
And the Lancers are starting all 5 seniors tonight.
Indeed they are. And a quick...
That was number 30, Hunter Good.
Quick basket as you see Guastello now outside the perimeter, pass inside to Ward. Nice spin move again, Ward, and just off. Firebirds bringing the ball up now.
And the Lancers will probably try to look to get the ball down low and in the post tonight.
You see Christian Rawls with the ball now, swings it around, left side, and a nice drive. And that 2 is good for the Firebirds. That's going to make it 5-2. Nice physical drive there.
Hunter Good has started off well. I believe he has all 5 of the Firebird points. And an illegal screen by Davis Morrison will give the Firebirds the ball.
And now we're going to see senior Luke Ely is going to enter the game for the Lancers, and out goes Davis Morrison. A quick substitution there, Ellis.
Yeah.
Great insight. And now we see Rawls going to bring up the ball, looking to shake down Ryan Dornbush. Oh, that pass goes off the backboard. A little bit of a crazy pass, and Glazer recovers.
Glazer out to Dornbush, who pulls up for a 3.
Oh, almost good, but Ely with the rebound, out to Guastello.
And Ryan Dornbush is one of the Lancers' better shooters.
Lancers swinging the ball around now. Dornbush with it, out to Ely. Now Glazer, pass to Ely, inside to Ward, and tapped out by the Firebirds. That's going to be Lancer ball.
And we see the Lancers doing a lot of ball movement early on, trying to get the ball down low.
Not physical.
And Guastello, nice aggressive finish. That 2 is good to make it a 4-5 game. Guastello hasn't really hit his stride yet in this season, but he's one of the most powerful players the Lancers have.
Yeah, coming into the season, he was ranked number 5 in, I believe, the city of Kansas City.
The Kansas City Star actually did an article featuring him in it, so that's pretty cool. As you see some ball movement now by the Firebirds.
Yeah, and there's a foul there, but back to Jay Guastello. He's the only returning starter from last year, so he does have a lot of experience, which will definitely benefit the Lancers.
I agree, and now Guastello and it looks like Ward are heading out for Trevor Thompson and Henry Sullivan. You know, I think the key to this Lancers team is the depth they have on their bench. Coach Hare talks about all the time in practice what they're going to do in the game is substitute the players out, as you see quite frequently, and that's keeping their players fresh. He believes that all 10 of these guys are worthy of, or at least 8 of them mostly are really worthy of playing a lot of it.
And the experience as well. Of the 8 Lancers that have been on the court so far, 7 of them have been seniors and 1 has been a junior. So Hare is definitely trying to utilize their experience.
And now we're going to see a inbounds for the Firebirds. Christian Rawls going to take it. Pass outside. Lancers running a 2-3 zone, it looks like now. Dornbush with some nice defensive pressure, making it tough on them outside on that perimeter. Nice inside move, works it in, and barely beats Ely. That too is good. That is number 30, Hunter Geed, making it a 7-4 ball game. Lancers now, Trevor Thompson's first touches of the ball game. Out to Sullivan. Nice drive inside, and nice dish to Ely, just off. Great pass there by Sullivan.
And there's
fantastic look.
Yes, it was. And there's the Lancers again with great ball movement, just unable to finish.
And the 3 is just off. Looks like there could have been a foul there. They're calling for a foul, but no foul is given as Glazer passes up to Ely, back outside to Sullivan. And nice dish again from Sullivan to Ely, but again, Ely's just off.
The Lancers are playing their game plan. They're just having trouble executing so far.
You know, I think they keep this pressure up and they keep going this hard. They're going to execute more of these chances than they're not. Firebirds looking to make something happen now. There's going to be a foul called. Looks like that is on. Now, Firebirds pass out. Open 3 is just off, and Sullivan corrals the board. Passes up to Thompson, who pushes the ball forward. Nice move all the way for Thompson. Oh, in and out. That's 3 inside chances for the Lancers. Their past 3 possessions that have just barely missed.
And a good-looking drive.
But a bit of a wild release there.
The Freebirds wanted a foul, but there didn't look to be too much contact, and the referee thought not enough for a foul.
And now Mark Ward comes back into the game as Luke Ely takes a seat on the bench. Oh, Glazer with a great defensive hustle play to get that, but loses it right away and turns it right back over.
And then the Freebirds turn it right back to them.
Little crazy possession there. A few turnovers in a row, and it's going to be Lancer ball. Good hustle play there from Glazer, but has to take it slow. You know, coming back from that hustle play, coming back up the court, got to be wise and make a good pass there. Just going to see Henry Sullivan inbound. We've got 2:38 left to go in this game.
Looks like the Firebirds are trying some form of a press.
2:48 left in the first quarter, though. Excuse me, not the entire game. We're going to see Guastello now at midcourt. He's calling to his teammates. Passes to Glazer, out to Sullivan, around to Ward. Ward off the screen, goes up and probably touched the rim on that one. He almost dunked. And
Ward is definitely the player on East team that has the best ability to jump. He's right-handed, and generally they jump generally with a dunk or layup. If you're right-handed, you'll jump off your left foot. But he is actually special, and he jumps off his right foot because he can actually jump much higher off that. So he ends up dunking with his left when he does.
Thompson now out to Sullivan. Dishes it to Thompson. Outside to Dornbush, who gets swatted. Looked like he had a good open look there, but number 0, Christian Rawls, came in and just said, not today.
Yes, sir.
And now the You Got Swatted chant starts up. And Sullivan inbounds again, looking for the open man, finds Thompson. Guastello now, out to Dornbush. Not this time. Ooh.
Dornbush with a nice dunk dish.
Good look for Thompson, but great defensive play there for number 32, Darian Lewis of the Firebirds to get the charge called.
Just about 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and number 0, Christian Rawls, will bring the ball up.
And I've got to say, we've got a pretty even game thus far. Was not quite the same with the girls' game in the first quarter. And a nice drive there. Again, that is number 32, Darian Lewis. Back-to-back
finished with the little finger roll.
Back-to-back defensive and offensive. Great plays for him. So we're going to send that to a quick commercial break, folks. Stay tuned here on SMEHarbinger.net.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best humor. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Three, two, one. And welcome back to tonight's live broadcast here on SMEHarbinger.net. We see Henry Sullivan with a missed opportunity there. If you're just joining us, I'm Michael Kraske alongside Ellis Nepstead.
Good move there.
Lancers taking on the Firebirds of Lawrence Free State.
And Sullivan gets redemption for his block shot by blocking one of the Firebirds.
And now slowing it down a bit. Out to Shannon Cords, who passes it back out. Inside, and Ward almost deflects it there, but you know, number 32 again, Darian Lewis. You're hearing that name again, Darian Lewis. He's having a great game so far.
He is indeed.
Now we see Dornbush.
Lancers have an open
Henry Sullivan. Ooh, just cannot find the target. A close shot, but you know, a lot of good opportunities thus far for the Lancers. They're just not able to capitalize on many of them. Almost dropped the ball there. Jay Guastello is getting nice and pumped up. He's angry. He wants to score the ball. I want to see a stop-o slam. If I don't say so myself. Now we're under 25 seconds here in this first quarter. Firebirds looking to hold the ball and take the last shot, but Jay Guastello doesn't look to want that to happen. And now a foul is called on the Lancers.
Hard drive by Hunter Good. And it looks like he will be going to the line.
And now that is the 6th team foul for the Lancers. They got to watch that as Trevor Thompson exits the game and Henry Sullivan as well. And Alex Glazer comes in. Excuse me, Henry Sullivan is staying on.
And again, the Lancers have a all-Lancer 5 on the. Oh, Trevor Thompson's coming back in.
Senior 5.
What did I say?
You said Lancer, my friend. It's okay. We all forget sometimes.
You're on. And lobbed up to number 11, Jay Deneen.
And a 3 is fired up and off the mark. That's Jacob.
Jay Deneen gets the putback 2 off of a missed three-pointer.
And now Thompson looking for an open Ward, but the ball goes right through Ward's hands. Now we're going to see 5 seconds left on the clock in this first period.
Quarter.
And the crowd chanting Butterfingers at Mark Ward, hoping to get in his head just a little bit. Haley Hughes is here tonight with us. Haley Hughes, how are you? You're not on. I'm not talking.
Shout out.
Yeah, go the other way.
Shout out. Ellis Nepstead. Dad makes great coffee.
He does.
You know.
And now an inbound for the Firebirds. Look frustrated, and now they're going to bring a 3/5 court press, looks like. And now we'll see if the Firebirds can get one last attempt. And Dornbush steals it. Now out to Jay Guastello, who goes up. And that is the buzzer. Great way to finish the half for the Lancers. Nice strong take for Jay Guastello, and that's going to give them some momentum going into the second quarter. Folks, we had a pretty good first quarter. The score doesn't quite reflect it. I'd say it's been pretty back and forth. A lot of good opportunities for the Lancers.
Yeah, and the Lancers really could be right in this game, maybe even winning. They've missed a couple close shots in the paint. And that's the end of the first quarter, so
stay tuned.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best youth. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
All right, going live in 4, 3, 2. And welcome back, folks. Davis Morrison just off the mark there as we start up our second quarter. And that's out of bounds on the Lancers. If you're just joining us, I'm Michael Kraske alongside Ellis Nepstead. The score is 6-13 as this second quarter starts up. Nepstead, how do you think the Lancers have played so far?
The Lancers have played pretty well. They've definitely had a couple good looks inside that have just been barely off. If they would have made those, they would be right in this game.
And now a lot more defensive pressure for the Lancers. Guastello is up in the face of his opponent, so is Ward. They are not letting him in. And nice backdoor cut and some nice hard defense, but...
And a charge is called going Lancers' way.
I thought it was the other way, but no, like I said, nice hard defense there by the Lancers. Looks like they're going to be stepping up this defense. Let's go, boys. Now Alex Glazer going to take the ball up. Approaching 7 minutes left to go in this second quarter. Out to Guastello. And the ball's forced out, but it's going to be a inbounds for the Lancers. And another deflection and another inbounds.
Yes.
Great insight again, my friend.
It looks like Jay Guastello will be throwing this one in to Alex Glazer. That's a kick.
And Guastello inbounds up to Glazer. Passes to Dornbush, thought about firing a three, and Morrison with the open shot in the corner, and another three is just off the mark. And now an open opportunity, a drive, and some, wow. You got to respect that defense that Ward played, though.
And Davis,
he did all he could, and another turnover, and they're going to call a foul this time. Back to that play, though, I think. Great defense by Mark Ward. He did all he could, and he got right up in his face and made sure not to get a foul call, but this time he did, unfortunately.
It looked like Alex Glazer was the one called for the foul, but his defense looked pretty clean to me. He was just straight up.
And now Shannon Cords will take two and makes the first, giving the Firebirds a 10-point lead.
In comes Luke Ely for Mark Ward.
And the second is off the mark. Ely with the rebound, out to Glazer. Glazer working out to Dornbush, out to Guastello. Another pass out to Dornbush. Nice ball movement here by the Lancers. Pick is set by Ely. Off the screen, pick and roll. Ely in and just off the mark.
But nice tip in.
Nice. That is some nice offensive play by the Lancers there. Now the Firebirds looking to come back right at him. And a three is fired in Dornbush's face and goes in. That's number 11, Jay Deneen.
That was some
right
good
in
ball
Ryan's
movement
face.
by the
And let's
Freebirds.
see Ryan Dornbush trying to say anything you can do, I can do better, but doesn't quite work out. And another foul is called. That is going to be the 8th team foul for the Lancers, I believe. That's going to send number 32, Darian Lewis, to the line, and he'll be shooting 2. Yeah, you know, the Firebirds, they have 3 fouls, but the Lancers have 5 more than that. They have 8 fouls already in this game, Eric. And now we're going to see 3
It looks like a
substitutions.
platoon's coming in for Free State.
A whole platoon of men, a blunder of three men for the Firebirds of Lawrence Free State. And now we're going to see the second of 2 by Darian Lewis. Second is just
In
off
and
the mark.
out.
And Morrison with the rebound out to Guastello. Going to bring it up the right side to Dornbush, inside to Ely. Ely, nice physical play, and that is up and in. Wow, Ely back-to-back there. And that's going to give the Lancers double-digit points, now down by 9.
And Ely really is a great player down in the post.
He's really proven himself so far. He hasn't quite done that so far this season, but I think he's on pace to have a great game. Firebirds slowing it down a bit now. Inside, back out, and a 3 is fired and good. Wow.
Good
That is
in and
number-
out ball movement by the Freebirds.
And that is number 13, Sloan Thompson. And a turnover, Glazer with a misplaced pass. Now coming up on 5 minutes to go, Lancers down by 12. Firebirds slowing down the tempo yet again. Comfortable with this 12-point lead. Inside, back out. 3 almost fired.
And the
Back out
Freebirds
to
are
McCaffrey.
taking their time with this possession.
Much more than they have most possession, and it pays off with a easy layup.
Looks like they might be calling an and 1 there.
And that is a blow for the Lancers. Too many fouls, too little time, excuse me. Now 9 fouls with just 4:40 to go left in this half. And now number 20, Jacob Pavliak, is at the line. He'll be shooting 1. And it's good. That's going to give them a 25-10 lead. Lancers need to turn up the intensity here.
And Trevor Thompson checks back in. Maybe he can give them some energy.
Guastello with a crazy move. And gets it
And
back.
1.
And 1. There it is. The first move didn't work off, but he stuck with it, got that offensive board, and put it back in, baby. That's what I like to see. Guastello and Ely both having good games so far. Now we're going to see a free throw for Guastello as a substitution is made for the Firebirds. Guastello now. Up and good. Lead down to 12 now. About 4.5 minutes to go. Crazy
Good
pass
tip
inside.
pass by Guastello.
Good defense up to Sullivan now. Gonna slow it back down. Thompson over to Dornbush. Outside to Guastello, who is open for 3 and is just off the mark, but it
Good
is put
putback.
back by Trevor Thompson.
And that'll cut the
Excellent
lead down to 10.
Put back in excellent fashion, if I do say so. And a timeout is called by the Firebirds of Lawrence Free State. Now, 10-point deficit for the Lancers, and we're going to take a quick commercial break, folks. Stay tuned here on SMEHarbinger.net.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCB Water, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
That works. Are you taking stats? Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome back, folks. you're just joining us, Lancers with a 10-point deficit to the Firebirds of Lawrence Free State, who have the possession now. Guastello yelling in the face of his defender. He's fired up. Last 4 points by Guastello for the Lancers. And almost a wild pass gone out, but it stays back in. Firebirds keep it. 3:30 to go now. A nice fake move, nice pass. Back and forth. And they just keep it going. Really nice possession by the Firebirds, waiting for their best possible shot. A nice pass. Wow.
Nice dish.
That was dirty, my friend.
And that was a very good position by the Firebirds right after a timeout to get a bucket.
Almost like that's like a pass you'd see on NBA 2K. Nice drive by Sullivan. In, aggressive, but just
off the back iron.
Just off the back iron indeed, and he will go to the line for 2.
In comes Alex Glazer for Jay Guastello.
Now we're going to send inbounds for the Lancers. Approaching 3 minutes to go as the Lancers are down 15-27.
Looks like it was called on the floor before the shot. Ely dishes to Glazer.
Out to Dornbush, fake, step back to Ely. And up to Thompson. Maybe looking to slow it down here. Jukes out his defender. Takes it all the way to the hole.
And one.
Another and one for the Lancers.
And a chance for the Lancers to make it a single-digit game.
The momentum for the Lancers. The momentum is definitely in the Lancers' hands now. Excuse me. As Thompson will head to the line. Hopes to complete this 3-point play.
And he does.
And now the Lancers back within single digits for the first time in quite some time. Firebirds still taking their time. Slow passes. But still that tough defense of the Lancers. The intensity is definitely still there.
Looks like the Firebirds' game plan since the end of the quarter has been to take their time and shoot when it's open, but don't force anything.
And there is a reach. That's going to be the 10th foul for the Lancers. It's going to be on Trevor Thompson. And that will send number 30, Hunter Good, to the line to shoot 2. Shooting 2 with 2:22 to go.
And he makes the first. And misses the second, but an offensive board.
And Ely gets the rebound and brings it up. Dishes off to Glazer, who slows it
Ely
down.
wants it back.
Some nice dinky passes by the Lancers there. Thompson now top of the key, inside, back out to Thompson. Out to Glazer. Inside to Ely. Outside to
Nice
Sullivan.
kick.
And open Trevor Thompson for 3 is just off the mark. So many good 3-point opportunities for the Lancers.
The iron has not been kind to the Lancers tonight.
And now we are under 2 minutes to go in this half, folks. Lancers down by 10, and that shot is off the mark. Now Glazer. Jinxie owe me a Coke. Oh, ball slips out of Ely's hands. Woo! Great hustle there by number 20, Pivliak. Out to Glazer, nice drive, gets around his defender. And a foul is drawn. Glazer with an opportunity to bring the Lancers within 8 points. First is just off the mark. And now Jay Guastello will come back into the game for Trevor Thompson, as well as number 30, Hunter Good, exits the game. Now the second is up and good. Lancers within a single-digit deficit now. Approaching 1 minute left to go in this first half. Nice drive, but oh, the block is called.
Another foul for the Lancers. That brings the total up to 11.
Now let's see if we can check out a. We're gonna maybe see a replay of that here in a minute, but we're gonna see first rolls, free throws in the first is good.
Puts it back up to 10 points. And Trevor Thompson comes right back in for senior Henry Sullivan.
It's not that big of a deal. I'll start doing it now. I just wasn't doing it before.
And now we're gonna see the second of 2. And they are back within double digits. After
More
that
than
first
10.
one, now they're back to 11. Guastello driving inside.
Kicks.
Out to Glazer, off the rim.
But an
Ely,
offensive rebound by Luke Ely.
and a nice aggressive play, and Ely draws a foul. That is the 8th
And
team
the
foul.
Lancers are in the bonus, so Ely will be going to the line.
How the fuck am I supposed to
And now-
talk if you're...
And Ely, the first is good, bringing them back within 10.
Hey, would you be mad if I just started walking on this field? Hey, guys?
And now the second of 2 is good. Ely having a solid game so far. Clock is winding down, 45 seconds.
And the Freebirds could hold it for the last shot if they chose.
Oh man! And Glazer hits the deck, and Coach Harris not having it. And a 3 comes out of it for the Firebirds.
And here comes Jay Guastello. 20 seconds.
For the Lancers there. Guastello out to Thompson.
And looks like the Lancers will hold it for the last shot with 15 seconds remaining. Thompson kicks to Dornbush. 5 seconds to open Jay Guastello. He gets called for a charge.
And as we're going to exit this first half, the momentum completely in the hands of the Lawrence Free State Firebirds.
Yes, indeed.
Now with a 12-point lead.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Sean Hare makes to adjust at half.
And a shot is fired up at the buzzer, and not too far off, but that's going to do it for us this first half. Ellis, real quick before we go out for a halftime break, what do you think the key for the Lancers in the second half is going to be?
I think the Lancers should try to get back to getting the ball down low in the post. They had some success with that with Ely, and he missed a couple, but he also made a couple in the end. So I think if the Lancers want to get back in, then they need to get the ball down low.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. That's going to do it for the first half. Michael Kraske alongside Ellis Nepstead. Stay tuned here on SMEHarbinger.net.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Booker T Sports Reports, providing all of your sports stats needs.
Oh, you already know what we gonna do. Hey,
Well, if you guessing it's me, you guessed correctly. I just say with a stallion, you would swear I wasn't a question. I'ma hit her with that pipe, call that Nancy Kerrigan. All we do is pour it up all night, drinks out. And all we pour it up all night, drinks out. Strange clouds.
And the Freebirds could hold it for the last shot if they chose.
Oh, man. And Glazer hits the deck, and Coach Harris not having it. And a three comes out of it for the Firebirds.
And here comes Jay Guastello. 20
Not a good
seconds.
play for the Lancers there. Guastello out to Thompson.
It looks like the Lancers will hold it for the last shot with 15 seconds remaining. Thompson kicks to Dornbush. 5 seconds to open Jay Guastello. He gets called for a charge.
And as we're going to exit this first half, the momentum completely in the...
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Booker T Sports Reports, providing all of your sports stats needs.
Oh, you already know what we gonna do. Hey, well, if you guessing it's me, you guessed correctly. I just say with a stallion, you would swear I wasn't a question. I'ma hit her with that pipe, call that Nancy Kerrigan. All we do is pour it up all night, drinks out. And all we pour it up all night, drinks out. Strange clouds.
And the Freebirds could hold it for the last shot if they chose.
Oh, man. And Glazer hits the deck, and Coach Harris not having it. And a three comes out of it for the Firebirds.
And here comes Jay Guastello. 20
Not a good
seconds.
play for the Lancers there. Guastello out to Thompson.
It looks like the Lancers will hold it for the last shot with 15 seconds remaining. Thompson kicks to Dornbush. 5 seconds to open Jay Guastello. He gets called for a charge.
And as we're going to exit this first half, the momentum completely in the hands of the Lawrence Free State Firebirds.
Yes, indeed.
now with a 12-point lead.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Sean Hare makes.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yoga. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to work. Member FDIC.
Booker T Sports Reports, providing all of your sports stats needs.
Oh, you already know what we gonna do. Hey, well, if you guessing it's me, you guess correctly. I just stay with a stallion. You would swear I was an equestrian. I'm a hitter with that pipe, call that Nancy Kerrigan. All we do is pour it up all night, Drake's out. And all we pour it up all night, Drake's out. Strange clouds.
Mic check one, Tizu. Mic check one, Tizu. Mic,
Is this
mic
good?
check. Oh yeah.
Is this
oh,
a
yeah.
good distance?
Oh!
Is this a good distance?
Might be a guest star.
Hembry, how do we sound, do you think?
Sexy.
How do you want it?
It's
like
good.
volume-wise, you think it's
Yeah,
good?
you guys are fine now,
Am
I
I
think.
good, or do I need to move this?
I can't even hear you, actually, so
Is this better?
How about you adjust your volume?
just keep it kind of close to your mouth, and I'll adjust the volume.
So like this?
Can you go down a little too?
Is this actually good?
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
feel like this is pretty good.
Thank you. All right.
This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village.
Hey,
where Lancers
ready?
go.
We're doing a chant. We're doing a chant. Ready?
No.
You're gonna know it right as I start it. Ready?
Ooga, ooga, ooga. That's not how that goes.
Krasky.
Dude, that looks like a female version of Kenyo.
Krasky.
It's a chick version of Kenyo. The girl closest to Kenyo.
Krasky, have a little drink
that's
tonight?
just some Mexican kid.
What?
You have a little to drink tonight?
No, I had a little smoke tonight.
Ah. I like the enthusiasm. All right, you guys ready to go back live?
Yes, sir.
1 sec. Shit. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back, folks. We've got the second half of tonight's broadcast here on SMEHarbinger.net. The Lancers are down 21-33 against the Firebirds of Lawrence Free State. Now Glazer passing up to Guastello. The Lancers hoping to get a quick possession. Threes off the mark. If you're just joining us, I'm Michael Krasky alongside Ellis Nepstead.
And the Lancers have really struggled from three-point land.
As you see, the Firebirds making
And
three there.
the Firebirds have had a lot more success with it so far.
Now the lead increased to 15. Dornbush out to Guastello. Little fake to the rim and called for a foul. Guastello will go to the line for two.
And since the Freebirds went up in the first quarter, Freebird.
And the first is good for Guastello.
I guess.
Was it?
And the second is good.
And like I was saying, the game's been pretty even since the first quarter. The Firebirds just got off to a quick start, and they've stayed about the same points ahead.
And now we're going to see Christian Rawls take the ball up for the first time in this second half. Lead to 14, swings it out. Glazer with some rough defense. Pass out. And a reach-in foul is going to be called on Jay Guastello. So, Ellis, what do you think the key to this second half is going to be for the Lancers to execute a comeback?
Like I said earlier, I think that the Lancers really just need to take their time moving the ball around and try to get it down low. They don't need to take any quick shots or force any, because that's likely going to be a miss.
Passed out for an open three, which is off the mark and corralled by Jay Guastello, who's going to bring the ball up. Now it looks like Guastello's going to take it all the way. Baseline to baseline, baby. That's what I like to see.
And quick baskets will definitely not hurt the Lancers, but
Internet.
and now cutting that lead to 12 points. Firebirds looking to come back. And the three is good. That's number 30, Hunter Good.
And really,
he's having a solid game for the Firebirds.
He is indeed, Mike. And really, the Firebirds have had a lot of success with the three ball. And there we see Davis Morrison driving and getting fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. And the Lancers currently have very good shooters out on the floor. Maybe they'll try to get some three-pointers real quick.
The first is good for Morrison. You know, Ellis, I think another key for the Lancers is going to be staying out of foul trouble. They had reached 10 fouls by the time there was 5 minutes left to go in that second quarter. So now with only one, Firebirds double that.
Yeah, I think staying out of foul trouble is definitely an essential for the Lancers if they want to get back in and win this game.
Now Rawls passes to Pivliak. Back out to Good.
Great defense by Glazer.
And back up top, Guastello gets beat. Another pass back out, a drive, and one. That is good for Darian Lewis.
Looks like the refs are saying it was a foul before the shot.
Oh, excuse me, I spoke too soon.
He did.
The crowd started cheering, and I thought for sure it was good, but
it looks like senior Luke Ely will be checking in for senior Mark Ward. And Luke Ely's really had some success down low with the shots in the paint.
And now Glazer with some tough defense. Lancers really stepping that up intense-wise the second half, it looks like. And now the Firebirds taking their time, passing back and forth. More tough defense from Glazer, and eventually Glazer fouls, but really, like I said, hard defense there for the Lancers, especially for Glazer. And that's going to be an inbounds for the Firebirds. Number 30, Hunter Good, will take the ball. And back out to Rawls. A little bit of contact with Rawls and Glazer, but nothing called. Back out. Long possession here for the Firebirds. Spin move, pass inside, and a nice score there. That is number 32, Darian Lewis.
That was a very good possession for the Firebirds. They took time off the clock, and they got 2 points.
Thompson almost gave that up, but used some nice skill moves to keep it back. Out to Morrison. Morrison tried to drive and dish it out, but it is intercepted. And ball back with the Lancers now. Pass over to Glazer. Drive for Glazer, and a call.
Looks like they're going to get Glazer on the charge there. They've done that a couple times tonight. I think the Lancers now have 3 charging fouls, and that'll put the foul total up for this half to 4.
The Lancers now calling timeout, and we will head to a quick commercial break, folks, as the Lancers are down 16. Stay tuned.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Four, three, two, one. Wait. 4, 3, 2,
Booker T
1.
Sports. Provide
And welcome back, folks. If you're just joining us, your Lancers are down 25-41 here on SMEHarbinger.net playing the Firebirds of Lawrence Free State. And now you see the Firebirds with the possession.
Very
Passing
similar
back
names.
out around. I'm Michael Kraske alongside Ellis Nepstead. If you're just joining us. Guastello with the rebound.
And maybe the Lancers could get a bucket to start chipping away at this Firebirds lead.
And a foul is going to be called on the Freebirds. Glazer tried to puck it up, and it actually went kind of close.
That was a long time ago.
And Glazer's inbounding it. And there's a 3 ball by Jay Guastello. Maybe they can get cooking.
I believe 9 points now for Guastello in this game. About 4:20 left to go in this third period. And
Foul called on the shot.
can't tell who's on. Looks like it's going to be
the
on.
line.
Looks like it's going to be on Guastello. Having a word with the ref now. And now Rawls heads to the line to shoot 2. The 5th. Now Lancers leading on fouls. 5th team foul for the Lancers as the first of 2 goes in. And now Davis Morrison will head out for senior Henry Sullivan.
And the Firebirds get the second to go.
Oh.
And which gives them a 15-point lead. Trevor Thompson brings the ball up.
Daisy, can you go tell Ryan he's sitting on the bleachers right there?
And now
tell him to turn
Sullivan
on
inside, nice move, and the 2
everything
is
on.
good. And there's a call.
Looks like an injured free Firebird. Yep,
Ooh.
he's very injured.
And that is number 11, Jay Deneen. And he is down. Some players comforting him by the sidelines. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break and hope that Jay Deneen is going to be all right. We'll be right back.
all of your sports stats needs.
Oh, you already know we gon'
She went over to tell. She's over there.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back, folks. I'm Michael Kraske alongside Ellis Nepstead. We are back to the action here as the ball goes out of bounds. Your Lancers still down by 13 points with 3:34 left to go in the game.
And looks like that ball is tipped by a Lancer, so it will be Firebird's ball on the end line.
And now the Firebirds looking to see what they can do. Swings it back out to Rawls. Rawls again.
And the Firebirds are taking their time.
Take the battery off the top. You see the top?
And the Firebirds are still taking their time, not trying to force any shots up. And the Lancer crowd is starting a boring chant. And the Lancers were double teaming number 13, Sloan Thompson, in which they reached in for a foul.
Now under 3 minutes here. Lancers still down by 13. And an inbound for the Firebirds. Tight defense by Guastello. And a turnover. Guastello brings the ball up. Fast break situation.
And he's fouled.
Opportunity and a foul on the Firebirds there. That's going to send Guastello to the line to shoot too.
Jay looks to be a little shaken up after the foul.
And now some substitutions for the Lancers.
And looks like Jay will be going down to the locker room, and which means Dornbush will be taking his free throws for him.
Not exactly sure what happened to Guastello there, but we hope that he will be all right to come back for this fourth quarter because they're going to need him. As Dornbush, the first of two is good. Bringing it within 12 points now. And the second is just off the mark. Rebound, Firebirds. And Rawls will bring it up.
And a 12-point Firebird lead.
And again, Lancers cutting off a lot of these pass lanes that Rawls is looking for, bringing the ball up right off the bat.
Nice move by Rawls.
And they're going to call a block on Luke Ely. The Lancers want to charge, but that call's not going to go their way. And now Rawls will shoot two.
As Rawls shoots this free throw, the Lancers are at 7 fouls with 2.5 minutes left in the third. So they're staying in foul trouble. Thompson brings the ball up looking determined.
And a foul is going to be called while Henry Sullivan was trying to drive. That's going to be the 5th team foul against the Firebirds, and that's going to send Sullivan to the line for two. And we see Guastello's back up talking with the trainer now.
He's shaking his left hand, which is his shooting hand. Guastello is a very big part of this Lancer team, and be a big hit to lose him for the rest.
Most definitely, and he's had a great game. Him and Luke Ely, I think, have been the stars of the game so far for the Lancers, so that'd be a blow for the Lancers, but he's looking not too bad. Looks like trainer's putting something on his face, checking his head, possibly a concussion test.
Or maybe he cut his head.
And he is back. Jay Guastello is. And we're going to see a foul. Oh, and a little bit of a scuffle here now between Henry Sullivan and number 30, Hunter Good.
It looks like Trevor Thompson has been given a technical.
As well as Henry Sullivan and a player for Free State.
Now, I'm not sure if Sullivan and the Free State player got a technical or if just a warning, but I did see the ref give the tee to Thompson for sure.
And now each team is heading to their side as the refs talk it over. Coach Hare calls his boys in. The refs talking it over now, finalizing that decision. We see, again, Guastello getting a concussion test about 2 or 3 minutes ago, but he ran back to the bench and he looks ready to play. He's smiling and he's looking to get back in this game.
And the refs are still chatting it over.
And a technical looks like it's given to Hunter Good.
The technical shots, free throw shots.
And now the technical free throws are going to be taken by Good of the Firebirds. Lancers down by 13, approaching 2 minutes to go in this third quarter.
And some of the Lancer students are yelling at the ref. And he misses the first.
First is off. And 0 for 2.
Looks like they might be getting 4 shots.
And 0 for 3.
And a Lancer chant, 0 for 3 has begun.
And now it looks like we're going to get back to the action. Going to be a throw-in for the Firebirds right up against our broadcast table here, folks. And
a timeout
is called. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but stay tuned here on SMEHarbinger.net.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Folks, we are back to the action. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go. Lancers down by 13, and Christian Rawls of the Firebirds will take it up. Firebirds taking their time yet again. Lancers keeping that defensive pressure at an all-time high.
And the Firebirds have really been consistently taking their time and not forcing any bad shots. But there's a steal by Jay Guastello.
And it's going to result in a jump ball. Nice hustle there for Guastello, and that's going to be a Lancer ball.
It will. And Jay Guastello will bring the ball up.
Coming up on about 1.5 minutes here in this third quarter. Guastello takes it all the way in, and good. Guastello having a standout game, by far his best game so far this season.
Yes.
And a pass in.
And a charge called. Finally one will go the Lancers' way.
I believe the 4th time that a blocker charge had to be called, and this is the first time it went the Lancers' way.
And Alex Glazer's happy about that one, but the Lancer foul total is up to 9, and the fourth quarter has not started yet.
Lancers within 11 points, nearing a minute to go in this third quarter. Guastella will take it up. Hunter Good. And now Glazer will head to the line to shoot, I believe, 2.
Or a 1-and-1.
1-and-1, excuse me.
Gets the
And
first.
very clutch by Glazer there, now within 10 points. And Luke Ely will enter the game.
For Henry Sullivan. And Ely is more of a bigger player, so maybe they're hoping that he can get this offensive rebound if he misses.
But that's not necessary as Glazer makes both free throws, and now the Lancers are within a single-digit deficit. Now a minute to go left in this third quarter.
And another offensive foul on number
Wow.
30. That's good. He did push Glazer a little bit, and Glazer's happy about
And the
that.
Lancers are really building up the momentum now. Hoping to exit this quarter on a very good note as they have been so far. Guastella to bring the ball up. Talking to Ely a bit. Not wasting any time. He went all the way and he scored again. Jay Guastella, ladies and gentlemen,
Cuts the
having
lead.
an MVP-worthy kind of night.
Down to 7.
And the Lancers wanted a travel call, but they're going to call a foul instead.
Looked like a very light call.
Wow. I'm just impressed by that Guastella drive. He's turning up the heat, and he's almost single-handedly bringing these Lancers back in. And I mean, sure, the team's playing with great intensity and everything, but Guastella's just racking up the points here in this third quarter.
Yes.
As the first is off the marks for Christian Rawls. And Henry Sullivan now will enter the game, and Luke Ely will head out. Lancers within 7. The second is good. Now an 8-point lead as Alex Glazer will take the ball up.
A very good opportunity for the Lancers to cut this lead down even farther.
Glazer slowing it down, taking his time, working his defender now back out to Guastella.
Guastella with a hot hand.
Looks like Jay's going to hold the ball for the last shot. Now coming up on 10 seconds, and Jay pulls up.
It.
Oh,
Ooh.
just off the mark. What a show that would have been. And now 5 seconds. Last shot will be with the Firebirds, excuse me.
Oh, that
and
looked very clean from our seat here in the booth.
we are, this Lancer fan base and these players and these coaches are not having that call whatsoever. Jay Guastella looked like he was about to have a heart attack when he saw that call.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see 2 shots for Christian Rawls. First is good. Second is good as well. Back to a 10-point lead.
With 1.5 seconds left, looks like the Freebirds will be pressing so they can't just roll the ball up. Firebirds, excuse me.
Freebirds is a burrito restaurant. One of Chipotle's biggest competitors, actually. As you see, Alex Glazer heaving up a last shot and off the mark. Folks, that's going to do it for this third quarter. Lancers down 10. We're going to see if they can turn it around here in this fourth quarter with a comeback. Stay tuned here on SMEHarbinger.net.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Booker T Sports Reports, providing all of your sports stats needs.
Oh, you already know what we gonna do. Hey, well, if you guessing it's me, you guess correctly. I just say with a stallion, you would swear I wasn't equestrian. I'ma hit her with that pipe, call that Nancy Kerrigan. All we do is pour it up all night, drinks out.
And we're back for the start of the fourth quarter. The Firebirds have the ball. Looks like Glazer gets called for a foul, which he's not happy of.
And is that, I believe, 11 fouls for the Lancers this half, and that's just one more than the Firebirds, who now have 10.
And 10 and 11 are two very high numbers for fouls with just the fourth quarter just having started.
Yeah, man, it's been a really physical game, I'd say, so far.
Yeah, and that mixed with the referees not really letting anything start.
And now Mark Ward with the rebound to Sullivan, who gives it to Glazer. Lancers now down 11. Glazer almost loses it.
And a blocking foul called on number 5, Simon McCaffrey. And Glazer will go to the line.
A lot of free throws this game, as you mentioned, all these fouls. Great opportunity for the Lancers to get back in this game with so many fouls going both ways. As Glazer makes the first, he's been a very clutch free throw shooter.
Yeah, and free throws might be a deciding factor in this one with both teams in the bonus. Any foul will send whichever player's foul to the line.
And the second is just off. The Lancers now down 10. Approaching 7.5 to go left in the game. Firebirds now keeping the ball outside the perimeter. Great defense. Hard for the Firebirds to find any passing lanes whatsoever here right now. Still more tough defense, passing outside the perimeter, and a drive in.
And a charging foul called.
Man.
And Mark Ward took a big hit on that one.
The amount of charge and block calls in this game is absolutely ridiculous.
It is indeed.
Good for the Lancers, though, for getting these calls, though.
I believe that should send Ward to the line, but it looks like they're inbounding it. And Jay Gostoa brings the ball up.
Glazer with a nice drive, and that's just off. Hustles back now. Lancer defense all there. And some tough defense, no call. Looks like it could have been a foul there on Ward, but they're not going to call it. Ball back out to Glazer. He's open for three, just short. And now an open player, and gets swatted. Absolutely rejected by Ward.
And Ward is given a technical for some words said after, but
wow. I mean, yeah, it's going to go the Firebirds' way in the end. But man, what a rejection from Ward. You could hear that from all the way over here.
And you saw the ups that Mark Ward has. He can fly.
Wow, that's incredible. And now the second time technicals are given in this game.
There's some unhappy Lancer fans being very
unhappy
vocal.
to say the least. And now the technical free throws will be shot by number 20, Jacob Pavliak.
This is ridiculous. There's like 50 fouls been called this game.
And Mark Ward is sent off as the Firebird fans are cheering. Now they're talking it over with Hare and Ward as the first free throw is off the mark. The second is off the mark as well.
And the Firebirds have really not taken advantage of the technical foul shots that they've had. And they switch shooters, which I'm not sure is legal, but
The Lancers almost as confused
he
as
misses
we are.
anyway.
But whatever the reason is, the Firebirds are missing their free throws, which
And
is
they're
exactly
getting
what these
a lot
Lancers
of
need
free
to happen.
throws.
And 4 free throws, 4 misses. That's exactly what the Lancers need. And Harris pumped up after that. And you know, this game is definitely not out of reach for the Lancers. And now Rawls trying to beat Jay Guastello on defense. Whips it around. Outside, back to him. Yeah, and they're going to call a reaching foul on Guastello. You know, I feel for Guastello there because Rawls was really not doing anything with the ball. He was just kind of sitting there. Guastello had to play aggressively, and unfortunately he was called. And now Guastello is sent off. I believe he's fouled out. I don't think he's fouled out. I think Coach Hare just took him out of the game.
Yeah, they might need him down the line. He's definitely in some foul trouble.
I believe that was his 4th.
One more and he'd be out, and there's 6 minutes left, which is a good amount of time. And the Firebirds have really not taken advantage of free throws, and they've had quite a lot these past couple minutes that they've not made.
And now Dornbush is sent off for the sophomore Trevor Thompson. And the second is good, making it an 11-point lead for the Firebirds coming up here in about 6 minutes to go left in this game. Thompson now taking it all the way. Great drive.
And
Howard
cuts
brings
the
the
lead
Lancers
down to
within 9. Oh, little skipper there, Ellis. It's a little skipper.
Yeah, it looks like that was a very strange release, but it went in no matter what.
And that is now an 11-point lead in the favor of the Firebirds. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Stay tuned.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, folks, here on SMEHarbinger.net. We've got about 5 minutes now and 39 seconds to go left in this game as the call is going to go against the Firebirds, and Davis Morrison will head to the line to shoot 2.
And Davis Morrison is one of the more reliable shooters for East, and definitely a very good free throw shooter.
And now we'll see the first. And it is good. 10-point lead now for the Firebirds. As a substitution comes on, it's number 32, Darian Lewis, who's had a fantastic game for the Firebirds. And the second is good. Morrison bringing the Lancers within single digits. Now under 6 minutes to go, Lancers going to have to turn up the intensity quite a bit.
And they're going to try to maybe get a turnover, if not definitely some missed shots.
And a travel called.
And there's a turnover.
And that could be the first call going in the way of the Lancers. Of many, hopefully. I'll see Morrison inbound to Glazer. Lancers cannot waste any time. Out to Ely.
Up to Glazer.
Glazer's open for three, and it is good. First three of the game for the Lancers brings them within 2 possessions, baby. I like to see that, Alex Glazer. Now coming up on 5 minutes, momentum definitely swinging to the Lancers' advantage. Now the crowd is roaring. Firebirds holding onto the ball. 4:45. And great defense for the Lancers, forcing a turnover.
And looks like before the timeout, Luke Ely was fouled, so he will go to the free throw line.
And folks, we are experiencing some technical difficulties with our clock. I will give some constant updates of the time so far in the game. We apologize for that. And now we're going to see Luke Ely shoot 2. Could bring them within 4 points, closest they've been all game.
Yes. And Ely swishes the first.
Some really clutch free throw shooting here by the Lancers. This is fun to watch.
And really, the free throws are what have allowed
It's about 9 o'clock Central Time.
the Lancers to come back in.
And now the second of 2 for Ely. Oh, it's just off the mark.
In and out.
And now 5-point lead for the Firebirds. About 4.5 to go left in this game, folks. This is an exciting one as we see some really intense pressure by the Lancers defensively. And a foul is called on the drive against number 30, Hunter Good.
Looks like Ely was the one, the Lancer. And we hear an 0 for 3 chant because this guy did miss 3 free throws in a row. And he misses a 4th.
Man, with the amount of free throws in this game, it's really going the Lancers' way, especially this quarter, these last couple quarters, with how many free throws the Firebirds have missed and how many the Lancers have made.
Especially because both teams are in the bonus, meaning that they'll shoot free throws when fouled.
And he misses again. And it's going to be Lancer ball. Momentum most definitely in the hands of the Shawnee Mission East Lancers now. We'll see what they can do as Trevor Thompson brings the ball up, gets to midcourt, passes to Ely, swings back out to Thompson, up to Dornbush.
Dornbush is kind of there.
Inside,
Nice
and the
dish.
2 is good.
Luke Ely is pumped up after making that bucket to make it a 1-possession game.
For the first time this entire game, folks, Luke Ely. And a foul is called, I believe, against Davis Morrison. And him and Ely were playing some really tough defense. They're upset about that call.
Very questionable. There was a hop there, which could have been a travel.
That's exactly what Coach Hare's calling for, but you know that's not the call that he wants.
And looks like Hare will be calling them over while number 10, Christian Wilburn, shoots the first. It's like an unofficial timeout of sorts.
Hey, Hunter! Hunter, you're 0 for 8.
And now we're going to see a pair of free throws for number 10, Christian Wilburn of the Firebirds. Hopefully the good fortune of the Lancers having these Firebirds miss all these free throws can continue. Oh,
Kind
took a couple
roll
of bounces
for
and just barely went in. And the second is off the mark. Sullivan goes up,
and
gets
a
the
foul
rebound.
called on number 32, Darian Lewis. He grabbed Henry Sullivan's arm on that rebound, so now Sullivan will have an opportunity for 2 free throws.
And again, an opportunity to bring the Lancers even 1 step closer.
1 point closer if he sinks both of these.
And now Henry Sullivan with the world watching. Just barely off the front iron in that first one. Again with an opportunity, though, to get this game back into one possession, excuse me. And Sullivan is good on the second. And now for the first time in the
Connor Reed
entire
will be
game,
checking in.
for the first time this entire game.
And the student section is bumping now.
And again, Christian Rawls brings the ball up. Under 4 minutes now. It's hard to hear. This Lancer crowd is so loud behind us. And the call goes in the way of the Lancers, and they are letting them know how excited they are about it.
And Glazer poked the ball away from Hunter Good, and Good tried to re-corral it, but just it slipped out of his grasp and out of bounds for a Lancer ball.
And this is the most exciting game I'd say we've had all season so far. Great game, folks. We're going to see Alex Glazer bring the ball up now. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Lancers down by 3.
Glazer thought about a 3, finds Ely inside.
The open
Makes
Ely,
it a
and now the
1-point
Lancers
game.
are within 1. Great pass and great finish by Ely. Momentum absolutely in the Lancers' hands now. And the defense keeps up. And number 30, Hunter Good, looks like he just tried to do too much with it, but
And
he
that
does
looks
get the foul.
like another questionable foul. Ely looked like his feet were more than set.
He just took it in there with every intention of getting a foul called, and he was right in his prediction.
It might end up being good for the Lancers, for he has missed his last 8 free throws.
And he ends that streak. Increasing their lead now to 3. 2, excuse me. And the second is good. Glazer to bring the ball up. Looks like the clock maybe started a couple seconds late there.
Yeah, Glazer let the ball roll as far up court as he could before touching it, which would start the clock.
Now Sullivan swinging around inside to Ely, but the pass is misplaced.
But Ely almost able to steal it back.
Showing that he's not afraid to get down and dirty. And a nice move by Christian Wilburn.
And a foul called, which looked maybe the most questionable all night. Very, very weak in my opinion.
Wow, but you have to respect, you got to respect that move that Wilburn just put on.
It was a great move, but I don't know if Ely or Sullivan even touched him.
You know, I'd have to agree, but unfortunately the call's not going to go their way. And now down by 5. The free throw is good, making it a 6-point lead.
And Trevor Thompson brings the ball up. And a timeout called by Sean Hare and the Lancers.
All right, now the Lancers down by 9 with 2:49 to go left in this game, folks. We're going to head to commercial real quick, but stay tuned.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
Booker T Sports Reports, providing all of your sports stats needs.
And welcome back to the broadcast. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left with Lancers down 4 with the ball.
Sullivan now handing the ball over to Glazer, back to Sullivan. Working it around, working with a 6-point deficit. The Lancers, Trevor Thompson takes it all the way in, good move, but just off the mark. Now the Firebirds will take it up.
Looked almost like a forced shot there. But with 2 minutes left, sometimes you got to force some shots.
Physical play. Lancers playing some good defense. Inside, Wilburn with a nice move and just uses that right hand to press it right in.
Makes
He's
the
getting
lead
hot.
8.
And the Lancer fans want and one, but that shot was clearly after the call for Glazer, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Hopefully Glazer can bring it back to a 2-possession ball game.
Gabe will not stop texting you, and it's really messing up my tweeting.
All right. And now each team meeting briefly before these free throws for the Lancers. And again, Alex Glazer, number 4, will be shooting 2.
In the lineup for the Lancers is Henry Sullivan, Luke Ely, Alex Glazer, Trevor Thompson, and Ryan Dornbush, who is a 3-point specialist.
And the first is good for Glazer. 7-point game now as Darian Lewis exits the game.
And Sloan Thompson comes in.
For the second time this game, we're going to see number 14, Connor Rigg. Interesting choice to just use him here at the end of the game. I wonder what Hare's thinking is with him. You know, Rigg, definitely pretty tall.
Hasn't
He's
had
about
much.
6'2", so I guess the idea is to get some height back on the floor, I suppose. And immediately, Rigg gets in the game and is called for foul. Both teams been in the double bonus for some time now.
The student section is definitely showing their disliking in the calls. As Simon McCaffrey shoots 2 after missing. He'll have another one after missing the first.
Now Sullivan is on for Rigg. Rigg leaves after coming on for about 10 seconds.
Maybe Rigg is more of a defensive player because Harris subbed him in twice, but subbed him right back out when the Lancers have the ball.
And the second is just off the mark. Sullivan with the rebound out to Thompson. Under 2 minutes now, folks. Left
Thompson
in the game.
wants a drive, and they get him for a travel.
I thought that looked like a beautiful move to me, but they're going to call him on a travel. And now Rigg back in the game for Sullivan. Rigg just being put in and out and in and out.
And the Lancers bring on their full court press.
Minute 52 to go.
Hoping for
Again, we apologize about our clock not working. We're experiencing technical difficulties. And now we see Free State breaking the Lancers' press.
And now Free State is just playing a game of keep away. Lancers have to foul at some point. And looks like Rigg fouls, and maybe that was the reason he's in, is just to foul the
to be
fence.
used as someone who, because everybody on both teams have so many fouls, so you need a fresh guy to even be able to foul.
Yes, indeed.
He's like a utility player, except just used for fouls. Now we're going to see
think of it that way.
number 13, Sloan Thompson, who is off on the first.
And maybe fouling is one of the better ideas because the Firebirds have clearly shown that they are not clutch from the free throw line.
Leading by 6.
With a minute and a half left. Misses the second again.
Thompson with the rebound. He's going to bring it up all the way to the right side.
He likes the look.
And
beautiful move to cut the lead down to 4.
And we are going to head to a quick commercial break, folks. We got 1:24 left in this game. Lancers down by 4. Stay tuned.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank of Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
welcome back, folks. Again, a minute 24 to go left in this game. Lancers down 57-61, 4-point deficit, and now some confusion among the coaches and referees.
And the Lancers again, full court pressing. And a reach-in foul called by Dornbush on a lob will send number 20 to the free throw line.
That's Jacob Pavliak.
And it looks like Henry Sullivan will be subbing right back in for Connor Reed.
And Pavliak makes the first, as we're going to see Sullivan and Glazer come back into the game.
And looks like the Firebirds are not even going to try for this offensive rebound. They'll just try to set up for defense. As he misses the second.
Goes in and out, and now Thompson will bring the ball up for the Lancers.
Just a 5-point Firebird lead. Glazer drives the baseline. Sullivan wants a three. Ooh. Offensive rebound by Glazer, who puts it back up and is fouled. Will go to the line and shoot two.
And you know the Lancers are just slowly picking away at this lead. As we're going to see, it looked like Connor Rigg was going to come back in the game, but Hare sat him back down. He's just stretching him out, I think. Keeping him loose.
Keeping him warm indeed.
Now Glazer
off the back
iron. Oh, jinx again, Ellis.
Okay.
You owe me 2 Cokes. Now we're going to see Glazer with the second of 2.
Check back in for Sullivan.
I wonder what Coach Hare's method is there with the Rigg coming in so often. And
hitting one of 2 will make this, again, a 4-point game. And a trap. And a blocking foul called on Ryan Dornbush will send.
And you know that's okay. A quick foul is probably what the Lancers need. So.
And they did foul Hunter Good, who is 2 for 10 from the free throw line, which is not too great of a percentage. Should be 20.
And the first is good. You know, the free throw shooting for the Firebirds getting just a little bit better as the game progresses. Fortunately, they're not missing like they were earlier. Now the Lancers working on a 5-point deficit. We'll see if he makes the second.
With 1 minute and 7 seconds left, the Lancers trail by 6, and Glazer will bring the ball up. Let it roll as far as possible.
And Glazer goes all the way. What an and one for Alex Glazer. What
that was a very
drive.
Efficient play. He let the ball roll up to midcourt without even starting the clock, and then 4 seconds later, he's at the foul line with 2 points and a chance to get a third.
Just the athleticism of Alex Glazer, folks. Just swift like a gazelle.
And Glazer misses the free throw, again off the back iron.
Now we are under a minute. Lancers
and
trail
a trap
by 4.
is.
And great defense. The Lancers trapping every single player they can.
With 45 seconds left, they need to foul, and Dornbush does so on number 5, Simon McCaffrey. So he will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the first is good.
McCaffrey shoots the second with 46 seconds and hits it to make it, again, a 6-point lead. Sullivan will roll it up, and Thompson will let it roll to half. Oh, my God. Thompson drives and gets the 2, and, you know, based on what the refs have been calling today, that could have easily been a foul.
Now Lancers within
and with
4.
a big press and a travel, which will give the Lancers the ball with 4-point deficit with 30 seconds remaining.
And here we go, folks. This game is coming right down to the wire.
And Glazer will inbound it. to Sullivan, who gets the and one with an opportunity to make it a 1-point game.
Oh my gosh. This is incredible. What a comeback. The Lancers are leading. Wow.
And Sullivan is hyped after that.
Wow. This is incredible, folks. Witnessing a fantastic game here. And now it looks like Rigg is about to come back in. Not quite sure why still.
I think it's for fouls, Mike. And Sullivan hits it, which will allow him to sub out for Rigg.
And the Lancers are down by 1 with 29.8 seconds to go left in this game.
And the student section is getting loud. And a timeout called by the Firebirds.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break, folks, but stay tuned here for all the action.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank at Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, folks. We have a nail-biter here. Lancers down by 1, under 30 seconds to go. And an inbound pass coming for the Firebirds.
And attempting at a trap. Rigg will foul. No, he will try for the steal.
And the trap, they're going to see if they can get a trap, but they will.
And now there's the foul with 19 seconds left.
That's what the Lancers need, plenty of time. And we just got word from our sideline reporter that there has been a total of now 66 fouls in this game. A whopping 66 fouls, folks. When have you seen that many fouls ever? This could be a new record. I'm going to have to check that. Now Lancers down by 2. Second free throw coming for Good of the Firebirds.
And he missed it short. 20.
Sullivan with the rebound. Lancers down by 2, 15 seconds to go. And it all comes down to this, folks.
And Hare wants to draw it up, so he calls a timeout.
I got a little too excited there. I thought we were going in for some action, folks. Another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This broadcast is sponsored by TCBY, the country's best yogurt. This broadcast is sponsored by the Bank at Prairie Village, where Lancers go to bank. Member FDIC.
And welcome back. There's 11 seconds left. Lancers down by 2 with the ball. Henry Sullivan will inbound to Trevor Thompson. Here we go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And they
shot
get
is
it.
good.
And the
That's
Lancers,
gonna send it
this
into
one will be
overtime,
going to
folks.
overtime.
Wow. And what a nail biter, folks, down to the wire. And at the last second, the Lancers of Shawnee Mission East are back in it. And we're going to head to overtime. Wow.
And Ely just got that one off in time. Very impressive and very calm.
What an effort by the Lancers. This is just absolutely fantastic. We couldn't have asked for a better game, folks. Wow. All right, folks. Well, looks like we're going to be headed into overtime, so we're going to send it to a quick commercial break and stay tuned. All right, folks, welcome back. 67-67, and we are headed into 4 minutes of overtime. If you're just joining us, I'm Michael Kraske alongside Ellis Nepstead. A fantastic game we've had, just a nail-biter. Lancers down as many as 15 points in this game, and they came back in the third and fourth quarters, slowly chipping away at this Freebird defense, and they've done a fantastic job. Now we're going to see the tip.
And that tip looked a little favoring to the Firebirds.
And now the Freebirds are going to start this overtime off with the possession.
This overtime, by the way, is 4 minutes, and the coaches do get some of their timeouts back. Good defense by Ryan Dornbush.
And they're really swinging around. A three is found and good. Hunter Good with a wide open look, and that's going to give the Firebirds a 3-point lead. And Trevor Thompson throws the ball away. Not a good start for the Lancers.
And Erie just jumps into number 20, Jacob Pavlak. And that was something to the
was
line.
Just looking for that one to come. He was just waiting. He's just sitting there. After he pump faked, he knew Ely was coming up, and he was coming up strong. So all he had to do was sit and wait. And now Thompson and Glazer are going to have a word with Hare as well as Dornbush and Ely. And Sullivan. That's all 5.
We'll find out if that was a good idea, because that was a 3-ball.
It looks like Rigg will be coming on as Luke Ely has fouled out. Great performance here for Luke Ely tonight. Now we're going to see number 20, Pivliak.
And foul trouble is really starting to play its role on the Lancers, as Pavlak misses the first of 2, I believe. And gets the second to make it a 4-point game.
Glazer taking it all the way and just off the mark.
But he'll go to the line.
Approaching 3 minutes now. And now Glazer, first of 2, is good.
And Glazer will hit both.
Makes the score 69-71 in favor of the Firebirds. Now, coming down at about 3 minutes to go here in overtime, and it looks like Liam George, number 24, is about to go on for the Lancers.
Maybe Liam George is the guy that they're trying to get to foul or use for fouling purposes. But the Lancers are also deeply in foul trouble with Mark Ward, Jay Guasto, and Luke Uya all having fouled out.
as the inside scoop is good for 2, making it a 4-point lead. You know, I think the Firebirds have done a really good job this game of just being able to wear out the clock when they need to and keep that possession in their hands in times that they lead as the Lancers turn the ball over now. I think that's been the key to the Firebirds' success so far.
And the Firebirds just got a turnover with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. Going into the post, foul called on Trevor Thompson. He's not happy about that. And number 30, Hunter Good, will be at the line, and seems like he's been there quite a lot tonight.
And now the 5 of Liam George, Ryan Dornbush, Henry Sullivan, Connor Rigg, and Alex Glazer take the floor.
And Good will make the first to make it a 5-point
And
Firebird
now Darian
lead.
Lewis enters the game for the Firebirds.
And Rigg with the rebound, passes to Glazer with just about 2 minutes left.
Now Sullivan working it inside, great pass, finds George for his first points of the game, and that's going to make this a 3-point ball game. Intensity picking up now for the Lancers.
And a
foul is
foul
going to be called on Connor Rigg. You know what's funny is he probably didn't come into this game until the 4th quarter, and he's probably already in foul trouble as well.
Yeah, he probably is, but it seemed to me like his reason for coming in the first place was to keep Sullivan out of foul trouble and foul if necessary. And in comes sophomore
Jack Schumann,
thank you.
number 11 for the Lancers, getting his first minutes tonight. And again, Hunter Good takes the line. 70+ fouls in this game, folks.
And Good misses a crucial free throw. If he misses this one, it will be a 1-possession game.
And it is good. That's going to give Firebirds a 4-point lead. Lancers sticking with them. It's not over yet. Glazer taking the ball up, passes out, around to Sullivan, finds an open lane, nice move. And some physical play there, and that's going to find
And
Dornbush.
looks like Dornbush will be teed up for that. That looked harsh, but maybe a bit of acting.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Dornbush there. Don't know if I quite agree with that call. Lancer fans definitely not happy with that call.
And letting
We're
the
gonna see
refs
some
know.
Darian Lewis technical free throws.
Misses the second. And he will sub out for Sloan Thompson.
Now we're going to see a throw-in for Lawrence Free State, holding on to this 5-point lead.
Lobs it up.
Minute 30 here in this overtime. Passing it around. And Sullivan gets it. Midcourt, he goes all the way in, just barely misses, but Glazer gets his rebound, puts it back in, and now the Lancers are within 3 points.
Glazer's been playing some very pesky defense.
And a nice drive, barely goes out, and a foul is going to be
Liam
called.
George. is called for a foul, which is very, very questionable as he was just boxing out.
And I think it's actually going to be against Liam George.
Yes,
I was
it
confused
is.
too. I think it was on Liam George, but it's actually against Liam George.
Maybe
now
a-
Liam George will be shooting 2.
Maybe a mistake on the referee's part there.
Under a minute now, 56 seconds, 73-76.
George has a chance to make this a 2-point game, which he does.
And now here we go, folks. Such a nail-biter of a game. And looks like some confusion about a call, but now Free State throwing in the ball, some pressure defense. But they're going to get an easy layup out of it, and that's going to result in a 5-point lead.
With 45 seconds, Alex Glazer brings the ball up, down 5. Nice cut there.
Pass out to Schumann, who's just off the mark.
Oh! Looks like it's last touch by the Firebirds, which will give the Lancers another opportunity.
And a rare mistake from Sloan Thompson, the junior, excuse me.
Until the end of the game.
Now 34 seconds, we're going to see a throw-in for the Lancers.
To Dornbush, who puts up a 3.
Oh,
Unlucky.
dangerously close. And another open, Darian Lewis is going to score.
20 seconds left, Lancers down.
Things not
8.
looking too bright for the Lancers now, folks. About 15 seconds here. Sullivan puts up a 3.
In and
Just
out,
off.
and that might do it.
And what a game, folks. That's going to do it now. 5 seconds. Going to be called for a foul. That's going to do it with the Lancers down by 7. But boy, oh boy, what a game this has been.
It has indeed. The Lancers were able to chip away at a very large lead that the Firebirds had and able to force it into overtime, which foul trouble ended up catching up with them in the end.
Now the first of 2 for Jacob Pivliak off the mark. Ellis, who do you think the MVP or MVPs of this game for the Lancers has been?
You know, there's been several Lancers that have stepped up at important times, but I'd have to say Alex Glazer was very consistent in the second half. His defense was very pesky. He was able to force a lot of turnovers and made a couple very good offensive plays.
And I've got to hand it to Luke Ely as well, having a fantastic game, as well as Jay Guastello before he fouled out in the 4th quarter. Folks, that's going to do it for us. An overtime thriller goes in the way of the Lawrence Free State Firebirds. 80-73 is our final score. Tune in next week for
Friday.
Tune in Friday for our next game at 7 p.m. That's all, folks, and be sure to check out SMEHarbinger.net daily for new content. That's all from Michael Krasky alongside Ellis Nefson. Good night, folks.